Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
This is that time of year when a lot of people are out planting trees in the yard and the landscape, and to have good success with the growth of that tree, there are a couple tips that will help. One is simply putting mulch around the tree. You just don't understand how beneficial having a nice big layer of mulch around the tree is to that tree's root system. And when I'm talking about mulch, I'm talking about primarily organic mulch, so things like wood chips, cedar mulch. Anything that decomposes over time is ideal. One of the worst things you can do for a tree's root system is to bury it in rock. Rock mulch is not beneficial to a tree's root system. Actually, it's very detrimental. You have not only the compaction from some of the larger rocks, but you also have heat. It absorbs that heat during the summertime. It holds the heat, and it never allows that root system to really cool off at night, and that's critical. When we, when we have 100 degrees during the day, you want to have that time at night for those trees to recover. And so having rock mulch just doesn't allow for that a lot of times. The other thing that can be a problem with rock or inorganic mulch is that you have some reflective heat. So if you have light colored rock, lots of reflective heat up on those branches and the trunk and the tree itself, and so that can cause problems as well. It's just creating a very harsh environment. And what we want to do is mimic nature. And in nature, a lot of times you'll see leaf litter, you'll see organic matter down at the base of the trees. And so that's what you're trying to recreate. Mulch is great because it helps to retain moisture. We know our rains are not going to last forever. It's probably going to get hot and dry like it always does. And so if you have a nice 3 to 4 inch layer of mulch under the base of that tree, you will not have to water as often. It will help retain that moisture. Now, the other nice thing is that it keeps the weeds away. Mulch is good as a weed barrier. One of the mistakes that I see a lot of times, and I try to explain to people, is you don't have to put anything underneath of organic mulch. You know, a lot of people think that they need to put weed barrier or some sort of landscape fabric down. That is not true. If you want your mulch to stay put, if you want it to stick to the ground and not blow away in the wind, just put it straight down on bare soil. It will stay there. And again, 2 to 3 to 4 inches is best. Now, when you're mulching around a tree, it's best if you can stay away from the main trunk of the tree by a couple of inches. I understand that it doesn't always stay that way, but ideally you'd want to keep it away from the trunk. One of the mistakes that I see sometimes is mulch volcanoes, we call them. People pile up the mulch and they kind of just taper it down. That's not a good idea because that mulch, like I said, retains moisture, and so it keeps this area nice and moist, which is attractive to insects and other things. So you just want to keep that mulch away from the main trunk by an inch or so. Another thing, how wide do you make your mulch ring? Best case scenario, you want to make it as wide as the branches spread. So out to the drip line of those branches would be great. I know that can't always be possible or practical, but that really is best for the tree's roots. And as that tree grows, you can expand the mulch if you want to, and that would be an ideal thing to do. Now, as far as watering goes, on a newly planted tree, you want to make sure to give that some nice moisture at least once a week if we've had no rain. Now, we've had some decent rains in the area, and so I always encourage people to go out and check the soil before you water. Make sure that the soil is dry to the touch, and an even better way is to check using some sort of probe. If you don't have a probe, you can use a long screwdriver, stiff piece of wire, something you can stick down into the soil and see. A lot of times you'll push down, and when you hit dry soil, you'll hit resistance. Now this is pretty heavy clay soil, so there's some resistance, but it's muddy. It's just sinking. We have plenty of moisture here. This tree does not need to be watered. Go out and just check once a week. Feel with your fingers. Make sure that the tree needs water before you put it or irrigate that tree. And last thing, when you're planting trees, make sure that you pay attention to them throughout the season. And for trees, it takes almost 3 to 5 years depending on the tree as far as establishment. So you need to pay attention to those trees for that time. Give them a little extra TLC. Hopefully as they get established, they will grow for years and years to come and give you the shade that you're wanting or the beauty from the flowers that you're wanting. If you have questions on tree maintenance or how to water or mulch your trees, contact your local extension office for more information. Reporting for K-State Research and Extension, I'm Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Extension Agent.
Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.